attending this session of the Meta-Inf Atlassian Day. My name is Gorka Puente, and today we're going to see how we can turn Jira into the central hub of our organizations. First, I'm going to start by introducing who we are, who is behind RoninPixels, what's the main problem for wanting to turn Jira into the central hub of our organizations. We are going to see the solution that we propose in a live demo, and then we'll have some time for questions after this session. In RoninPixels, we help teams to be more productive, to get the right information, to stay more focused, to waste less time switching contexts. So in overall, we help teams to be the best version of themselves. And we do that by doing the thing we love the most, which is building software apps. We've been working in the Atlassian ecosystem since 2013. We've been working together since 2015, but RoninPixels is a young company that we created last August, so we don't even have 1 year. We are 3 partners, Íñigo, Javi, and me. And Íñigo and I worked together like 4 years together in Comalatech, that you may know because of Comala Workflows. It's one of the top Atlassian vendors, although this app is now called Comala Document Management. And Íñigo was the tech lead for the cloud area. Javi worked also with us like 1 year, something like that, in Comalatech. Then he had to move to Chile, where he's living now. And he was the project lead for very big projects integrating Jira and Confluence to custom platforms in Deloitte. And then we worked together again in our last company in Manfred, which is a HR startup company. And he was the CTO there. And I worked 4 years in Comalatech as the product lead. And then I moved to this HR startup company until it got acquired. And then it was time to move on for the 3 of us. I have spent the last 15 years using professionally studying and also doing research in corporate wikis. The last 8 years, I've been building apps for Confluence and for Jira. And during all these years, I have seen once and again the very same problem in Jira and in Confluence, which is having the information in a single place. We cannot forget Toshi. Toshi is our business development in APAC. He's in Japan, and he was the general manager for GoToGroup Japan for more than 6 years. GoToGroup States is one of the biggest solution partners of Atlassian. And let's talk about Jira as a central hub, because Jira is already on the center of our universe, right? But we use many other products when we do services for our customers, when we have to track and monitor projects, when we collaborate with our peers. Work just doesn't just happen in Jira. The universe is usually more like this, right? Some teams prefer Jira Service Management, others prefer ServiceNow, Zendesk. The same happens with Bitbucket. Sometimes our colleagues, they choose GitLab or GitHub, right? And we have in a single project, even if we are a small company, we got a lot of different products, a lot of different services. And the problem is that all these apps generate data, generate information, and this information is spread out among all these tools. And whenever we need to create a report, whenever we need to do incident management, we need to have alerts, we have to monitor other systems, we have to take into account the workload of our colleagues. So we had to move from one tool to another to get the information. It is true that Jira already has some information at issue level, but the granularity is too small for having a bird eye view, right? And we have to switch from one app, from one product to another to get this information. And in that moment, we are switching context, and switching context has a really high cost. And there is a lot of bibliography, there is a lot of research behind this. that we have a higher workload when we do switching context, when we have more stress, we have higher frustration, we increase the effort we have to do to finish our tasks. And the reimmersion time, which reimmersion time refers to the extra effort that we have to make to complete a task after there has been an interruption, either because we interrupt ourselves switching to another tool, or because someone else did, or we receive an email, we had to open the email, right? So reimmersion time for knowledge workers, like we are, takes between 20 minutes up to 1 hour, or even some people even 2 hours, depending on the context. The good news is that there are solutions, and we have solutions within our ecosystem. In Jira, we can use Jira. As I said, at issue level, we have information, for example, about a deployment, or we have information if there is something related in Jira, in Confluence. So we have some information, but the granularity is too small. We usually need a bigger picture, right? And for that, Atlassian provides Jira Dashboards. The problem is that Jira Dashboards are not enough if we do an intensive use of Jira and other products. When Javi and me were in our previous company, in Manfred, we had to create our own dashboard in Confluence. Within a page, we needed to report a lot of different metrics that we have in different tools. And we had to create that from scratch. And we had to implement a custom app just for that. The result was good, but it was far from being something at the required level of professionalism that we needed in that moment. And not to mention that it was really expensive to have Javi and me 2, 3, 4 weeks working on this single project. And it's like our cars. We cannot conceive a car without the dashboard, right? Where you see the level of oil, the speed, the lights. Imagine that you had to open your window to check the external temperature. It doesn't make sense, right? We need dashboards to have all the information centralized. The problem with Jira Dashboards is, first, you are going to have a really hard time trying to share something externally with other stakeholders. It's going to be a real pain, right? And it's a common use case that you need to share information, metrics, you need to share alerts with other teams, right? With people, with customers, with providers. Not to mention, you cannot connect with other Jira instances. And many times within our own company, we have different departments or different teams with different Jira instances. And not to mention, if we collaborate with other partners, with other customers, and we have a bigger project, and we need to track all the information in a single place. That's you cannot do that, right, with Jira Dashboards. There are not power custom charts gadgets. You cannot create a custom chart. That's a no way. There are no templates. If we want to create a Confluence page, there are templates, there are blueprints. If we want to create a Jira project, there are templates. But if you want to create a dashboard, you have to do that from scratch. There are not enough metrics, just there aren't. You have to rely on third-party apps to get all the metrics you need. There are no integrations. Again, you have to rely on third-party apps to get those integrations, and the gadgets are too old. It is true that Atlassian, like a couple of months ago, did a release, and it improved the UI and the UX, but again, it's not enough. And then we had to move to the second solution, which is, okay, let's use third-party apps, right? We want to solve this problem. But here, the problem is that we usually need several different apps. We have apps to synchronize Jira instances, right? We have Exhalate, or we got Backbone from K15T, really good both. But many times we don't need to synchronize. We want information. We don't want to replicate information, or we don't want to copy the information, right? Or synchronize, sorry, the information. Sometimes we want to integrate. So we look for integration apps. But here again, if you want to integrate one product, you need one app for it to integrate. You need to integrate 10 different products, you need 10 different apps. Then we need charts. Then you can rely on a chart app or more powerful, more difficult to use apps like ECBI, which is really cool for business intelligence. And we can rely also on dashboard apps. So when Javi and me had this problem in our previous company, we said, we can believe there is nothing that we can install and with 2 clicks create whatever we need, right? Okay, I need a dashboard about ATCM. I need a dashboard for my agile team. I need a dashboard for DevOps. 1 click, 2 clicks, done. No, there is nothing like that. So that's the reason behind our decision to develop our own app and start RoninPixels. We have created the app that fulfills all these requirements. We provide predefined templates. We provide external share in a secure way, but like you do with Dropbox. Right click, create a link, the same here. You create a link, you send the link, and all the information you are sharing is going to be accessible to your customers. Of course, you can add a password if you want to increase the security. We provide more than 60 different metrics. So most of the metrics is just 1 click away from having that on your screen. We integrate with, of course, Jira Software, Jira Work Management, Jira Service Management. We integrate with Opsgenie. We integrate with Insight, with Statuspage, with Confluence, with Bitbucket, including pipelines. And very soon, we are going to integrate with third-party apps like Project Track for project tracking from Dayshare, Tempo, or external products like ServiceNow or GitHub. But the best of this is if we have a look at the live demo that we are going to see now. Here, you can start the CloudWatch and see how long does it take to create a dashboard, because I'm going to do it in less than a minute. Just click on Create Dashboard, give a meaningful name for your dashboard. You want to write a description. You can set the access level to my organization or make it private. You can even copy previous dashboard configurations, or you can choose one of the provided templates. In this case, we are going to see how can we create an ITCM dashboard in less than a minute. Yes, click, and we can see that we have a dashboard with 2 slides. You can configure slideshows to create a wallboard, an information radiator that we'll see later. And let's configure one of the gadgets and let's share that configuration. In this case, the time to first response SLA. We have to say where is the source of the data, in this case, this Jira instance. We select one of the projects that we have here, one queue, and the period that we want to display the information. And here we can see this, this option that says, hey, use this configuration if you find any other compatible gadget, right? So we just click Save, and we have all the gadgets already configured with only one configuration, only configuring a single gadget. Here we can see that there is one gadget that is not configured because this is Statuspage. It's a completely different product. We select the data source and we say, hey, give me the information of RoninPixels services, right? And we can see that now all the services are green, right? Operational. Here we can see the time to first response SLA. Let me show you in dark mode because it looks better. We can see also the time to resolution SLA, a service desk queue, so we can have all the agents looking for the most pressing request, the customer satisfaction. We can see the agent's workload if we want to organize our team workload, the SLA by project, and also if we are creating request depth. If we are creating more requests, our customers are creating more requests than our agents are solving. And here there is a really cool use case that they really like, and several of our customers are doing that. Is whenever these customers provide premium support, they have to provide every month a report to customers. So what they are doing right now, since they cannot give access to Jira, of course, they are creating a report in Jira Service Management. They are creating a PDF and they are sending by email this PDF. Now, what they are doing, they create a private dashboard for each of their customers. They create a public link like this one that you can protect with a password if you want. They just copy the link and they send the link to their customers, and they can display this information in a TV or wherever they want, and they have the live information of the SLAs if they are meeting or they are breaching the SLAs they are paying for, right? That premium support. And we have other templates. For example, we have a really cool template that I really like because I'm product manager, which is for agile teams. First, we have the Hall of Shame, which is whenever a developer pushes and fails a pull request, that person is going to be here in the Hall of Shame. Nobody wants to be in the Hall of Shame, so they want to move to the Hall of Fame, which is the heaven of developers, when they successfully deploy a pull request. We can see also the resolved issues of this sprint, and what it is important, compare how we were doing against our previous sprint. For the sprint blockers, for product managers, we have here the sprint blockers of this sprint, so we can see we are working on the right issues. We can see the workload of our team. We can see all the releases. If we equal a project in Jira with a space in Confluence, what we can do is we can connect Confluence and see all the pending tasks in a given space. Or we can provide a SQL and do a search of different content that we have in Confluence. Of course, we can create custom charts. And here, this is a really, well, there are two use cases here, indeed. This is what we call a hybrid dashboard. A hybrid dashboard is a dashboard. In this case, we are in a Jira Cloud, but we are getting information from a Jira, which is data center, and then Jira Cloud. So a Jira a hybrid dashboard is a dashboard that displays information from server, data center, and cloud. And this is really useful for those customers that are in their journey to cloud, right? First day, they set up a cloud instance, and that very same day, they can start getting information from their all instances in server or data center. And also, we can see here that if we are in a company with different Jira instances, we can see all the information in a single place. For example, in Jira Enterprise, you support the horizontal unlimited scale, which means if you are too big to have everything in a Jira Cloud, you can have different Jira instances in parallel, and you could display all the information here. As for DevOps Teams, we can display information from Bitbucket, the pipelines, from a Statuspage, in this case, the historical uptime. We can have the history of the pipelines. We can have information from Opsgenie on call schedules, what's the team that is on call schedule. We can have here the last incident, the open alerts. We can see all the information from inside all the assets we have. And this is pure dogfooding. This is a dashboard that we created for us because, well, this is fake data because we cannot display real information from customers. But here we are connecting to the Atlassian marketplace and we see the information of our apps. How many evaluations we have, what are what's the feedback we are receiving. We can see the last reviews, of course, the sales. We can see insights from cloud, like what are the cancellations, conversions, renewals, and of course, we can see the different sales of our apps with different aggregations. So as I said, this is pure dog fooding, because it's not useful for normal customers, but we wanted to do it for ourselves and also for other Atlassian marketplace partners. And if you don't find a metric where we have, as I mentioned, more than 60 different metrics, you can do everything from scratch. You can say, okay, let's add a new slide and let's create a custom chart, right? If we select our jQuery custom charts, we can get all the information in the way we want. For example, let's see a project that is the Teams in space. Get me the information, and then you choose the visual metaphor you want to use. In this case, this is a table, but we can say, okay, I want a chart to show a line chart, or let's see a pie chart, for example. Let's chart by status. Let's chart by status. And I want different aggregations. You can do sums. For example, you want some story points. Let's count, in this case, just the issues that we have in each status. And we can change colors. If we want to, for example, use our corporate colors, we can reorder the segments, or we can even hide some segments, right? And we want to see, for example, just the ongoing issues, the pending issues, the ones we are doing and the ones are still pending to do. And you just save, and you can have this for your team, whatever you want the information to transmit, right? And that's everything in the live demo. I prefer to discuss more in the questions if you have any. And before finishing, I just like to explain a bit about our roadmap. These apps are available for Confluence and Jira in both cloud and server, and we are working right now in data center. We are also working on enterprise features like cache to improve performance, advanced permissions, audit log, analytics of your dashboards, schedule reports. If you, for example, want to send every month one of these dashboards in the form of a report. And we are going to provide very soon more integrations and gadgets like Project Track from Dazer, Tempo, ServiceNow, GitHub. And I didn't want to spend the 30 minutes talking and explaining everything in detail. So I prefer to give you an overview and then discuss any question you may have now in the Q&A. So feel free to do any question, and if you need or you prefer, just drop me a line to my email, which is gorka@RoninPixels.com. Thank you very much.
This is our way. This is our code. We are RoninPixels.